Hey guys, this show, the Nick Paolo Show, is a place you can come to for an hour each day and know that the truth is going to be spoken. Sometimes it's politics, sometimes it's comedy, oftentimes it's both. Anyway, that you cut it though, it's always honest, unfiltered, and free from the bias you'll find pretty much everywhere else, and certainly all day long by mainstream media. Free speech lives here, and it always will. I want to thank you all for supporting the show, and I want to encourage you to contribute on the comicsgym.com page or visit nickdip.com and click on contribute. Your contributions are what keeps this show going and what has helped us now put the show on Roku, Apple TV, Android, Amazon, and mobile devices. Again, donate on the comicsgym.com or at nickdip.com, and know that 100% of your contribution comes right directly to this show. I thank you guys again. Wow. Oh yeah, welcome to the big show, everybody. How you doing?
You know, Mr. DiPaolo, I'm really proud of you.
You should be. What's going on, folks? Remember this.
Feeling good? You know what? I wet my ass with your feelings.
Oh, goodness. That's me talking to my liberal friends. And even a more important message, this goes to the libs and the people who, use your tax dollars and waste them.
You're entitled to shit.
Amen, motherfuckers. Let's get right to it. Got a lot of stuff today. Holy Christ. We all knew Biden was losing his marbles, but mother of God, the rest of the world knows it now. Have you been watching any of the clips? G7 summit? G for gaff? More like G whiz? How the fuck is this guy running anything? Oh! Poor guy made a real asshole of himself on the world stage. Just think back when they said President Trump wasn't mentally fit. Just think about everything they said about Trump is true about this guy. Every frickin' word. Not physically fit, not mentally fit. President Biden embarrassed himself at the G7 summit when he tried to correct British Prime Minister Boris Johnson for not introducing the president of South Africa, even though Johnson already did so by name. The blooper, one of several Biden made amid the series of meetings with the world leaders, prompted laughter, literally people laughing at him, at his expense at the start of a roundtable discussion in Cornwall, England. The awkward incident took place on Saturday, according to Sky News, which posted a video clip and a transcript online. So, God, this is cringeworthy. It made the hair on my left nut stand right up, all three of them. Take a look at this.
And just say how pleased I am to welcome those who have just joined us, bringing some pretty spectacular weather with them. Prime Minister Modi, President Ramaphosa, President Moon, who just come in, and the President of South Africa, and the President of South Africa, as I said earlier.
Oh, you did?
I certainly did.
Look at him, like an old... All right. Oh, God. Just like an old dawdling idiot at Thanksgiving dinner. You know what that was, too, by the way? Him going, you forgot the leader. He was the only black guy at the table, the leader of South Africa. Once again, pandering. He was so eager to pander that he forgot the guy was already introduced. Just a real, you didn't include the black fella.
What you just said
is
one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. May God have mercy on your soul.
And may Trump become president again. And a Sunday news conference at Cornwall Airport, Newquay, was marked by several Biden gaffes. I mean, holy Christ. Can you imagine SNL going, there's nothing funny about him? Luckily, they're not, doing new shows right now. Or they wouldn't even know what to fucking do. They'd have to go black. Let's take a look at some more of him trying to fucking pretend he's not mental.
The European allies. Can I ask you a question about the European allies?
I'm going to get in trouble with my staff. Yeah, go ahead, but I pretend that you didn't answer you.
Thank you very much, sir. You have often said repeatedly that America is back.
Yes.
At the same time, you've kept in place some Trump-era steel and aluminum sanctions. And I wanted to ask you, when you're having these conversations with European allies who are very concerned about these sanctions, how do you justify that? And what are your plans to
120 days. Give me a break. Need time.
Ugh, I've been here 120 days. Give me a break. I need time. Takes me that long to take a dump and have my insure in the morning. Ugh.
You can act like a man! What's the matter with you?
How about him going, my handlers are going to get mad at me? Jesus, they're not even trying to hide that he's a puppet.
Jim Henson's backstage. He's going to get itchy.
I don't know. Oh, God. Oh, God. It gets worse. Oh. I almost feel, I made the mistake. I said, I think I feel bad for him. And even Matthew goes, no, you don't. Fucking get exactly right. Why do I feel bad for a guy who stole a fucking election, looks you in the eye, says he didn't, and then calls you a white supremacist, 3/4 of the nation? Fuck you and your Alzheimer's. On Friday, my dad had it worse than him, and he wasn't making these mistakes. You know what the last thing to go is when you have Alzheimer's? This is true, too. What does this say about men? I did this on stage. I got a huge laugh. My dad couldn't, he fucking just staring at the TV, whatever the fuck, in the nursing home. But then a cute young nurse would come in. He looks at my mother. He goes, nice, huh? The last thing to go is the pussy cells. What does it say about men? You've lost your mind, but that still stays focused. Can you blame us for being pigs? Anyways, I digress. On Friday, the Jewish Voice also posted a video. The Jewish Voice? Who's this, Barbra Streisand? Also posted a video clip of Biden being asked a question by a reporter who shouted, how are your meetings going in Cornwall, Mr. President, as he walked across a patio and his wife had to come. First of all, I feel bad because he has sneakers on, like a guy you'd see in Vegas at a slot machine at 4 in the morning in his 70s with a members-only jacket and a scotch in his hand. Nothing looks sadder than an old man with running shoes on. Anyways, watch Jill save him here. What an embarrassment.
How are your meetings going in Cornwall, Mr. President?
I beg your pardon?
How are your meetings going here in Cornwall?
Very well.
Come on.
Look, it's a well-known... It's fucking hard. God bless Joe Biden. I know she's not a real doctor and she's kind of a dope too, but that's a great wife going, oh my God, my asshole of a husband. What kind of job did he take? I got to get him out of here. So she saved him and everybody's laughing. Why? Because everybody knows he's not fit to run a goddamn lemonade stand. And then in the next clip, he keeps saying Libya when he means Syria, and at the end he throws them both in to cover his ass. Sounds like me in geography in fucking 8th grade. Oh my, when somebody called on me. I don't know. This one. Oof, go ahead.
Where we could work together with Russia. For example, in Libya, we should be opening up the passes to be able to go through and provide
Libya?
Provide
You mean Syria?
food assistance and economic
yes, eggs
vital
and
assistance to a
Twinkies.
population that's in real trouble.
You're in real trouble.
I'm going to try very much hard to. It is. And by the way, there's places where I shouldn't be starting off and negotiating in public.
Oh,
here,
the
but
poor
let me say
prick.
it this way: Russia has engaged in activities which we believe are contrary to international norms, but they have also
yeah, but what about Libya and Syria?
bitten off some real problems they're going to have trouble chewing on. And for
Except the man
example,
with false
the
teeth.
rebuilding of Syria, of Libya, they're there.
All right, enough.
And as long as they're there without
Enough.
the ability to bring about some order.
You know you're a fucking mumbling, stuttering little fuck. You know that?
You know what he did there? He was answering, and then he paused, and somebody was in an earpiece going, say this. But this is the best one of all. This one just fucking freaked me out. It's almost like you think the screen paused. And if you don't believe my earpiece theory, watch this clip and tell me I'm wrong. Biden has another deep brain freeze when asked about past remarks he made about Putin, because, I think he's meeting with Putin tomorrow. Let's see all the bad talk. Let's see Mr. I beat up corn pop, see how tough he is when it comes face-to-face with a KGB guy who he was never one-tenth as smart as. I don't give a shit what you think about those fucking Russians. Anyways, check him out, and don't tell me when he pauses for about 5 seconds here, somebody's not in his ear saying this. Here you go.
They actually, well, look, I mean, he has made clear that the answer is, I believe he has in the past essentially acknowledged that he was, there are certain things that he would do or did do.
Oh, my God. How long was that pause?
Hello? Hello?
That's somebody in his ear.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Say this, Joe. This is what he said. This is what he did. Boys, how fun is this?
Oh, boy, is this great!
You want me to believe you got 80 million votes. Seriously, that's making me laugh. That's not a fake laugh. This is a fucking outrage. Can you imagine being Trump sitting home and watching this jagoff going, you gotta be shitting me. How much more evidence do you need? This guy couldn't find the men's room. Oh, I think it's obvious someone's giving him the instructions on what to say through the earpiece. Do you realize you idiots that helped steal the election, and that was all 10 people who voted for him, have put this country in a really dangerous position? Because if I'm Iran or fucking any of these countries, China, both those countries all have very tiny erections right now watching this guy. I looked at the chart as penis sizes from country to country. Oh my God. By the way, Italy came in like second or first. Unfortunately, I'm 49%. Unbelievable. Seriously though, I'm nervous. I'm fucking nervous. Because China ain't playing. Remember how happy they were when they found out? You wonder why they're happy Biden's the president and not Trump? Are you shitting me? They're going to manhandle him. That's a dangerous combination, dementia and evil politically. Well, what do you mean by that, Nick? Well, I don't know if you know who Julie Kelly is. She's part of the website called American Greatness, which is actually a great site that we stumbled on. She was on with Mark Levin and discussing how jerk-off Biden and Pelosi have the Department of Justice still hunting down innocent people from the January 6th insurrection. Let's think about that. Huh? Think about that. That shit, that's what went on in Cuba and Russia circa 1940. Unbelievable. Here's her commenting on what the Biden administration is doing to, people that were anywhere near the Capitol on January 6th. Check it out.
I think what the American people need to know is that the
This
U.S.
is my real
government,
voice.
Joe Biden's Justice Department, is holding political prisoners in a jail in Washington, D.C. that has been opened up specifically to house January 6th defendants awaiting trial. They've been denied bail. They're living in harsh, almost solitary confinement conditions in this jail. But what's overall happening, as we can get into the specifics of what's happening at this jail, I call it the deplorable jail, because that's, of course, how the Biden regime views these people. But the FBI and DOJ continues this nationwide manhunt. They've arrested almost 500 people now, mostly for misdemeanor charges related to what happened on January 6th. This is a political persecution against Trump supporters. And the American people need to know what is happening and why it's happening.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine the balls on Pelosi and Biden? Fucking
Pompous, stuck-up, snot-nosed, English, giant, twerp, scumbag, fuckface, dickhead, asshole.
Those are political prisoners. Literally, some of them haven't even been charged yet. They've been in there since January in almost solitary confinement conditions. One guy I think with the guy with the Viking hat, gets smacked around to the point where he's unconscious for a couple hours. Fucking think about that. In the United States of America. Are you happy now, people who voted Democrat, you fucks? Can't wait till they come after you. Oh, that's right, they won't, as long as you got a fucking D beside you. Can you imagine? Not even charged yet, some of them. That's classic Castro shit. Ay, ay, ay. And then she talks about the actual insurrection itself and some of the sham charges about weapons. Here you go.
They referred to this as an armed insurrection. Nancy Pelosi came out on January 7th, held a very dramatic press conference, and referred to the events of January 6th as an armed insurrection. So that was all it took for the media and plenty of Republican politicians to go ahead and echo that line that this was armed. But Mark, not one person has been charged with carrying or using a firearm inside the Capitol building that day. As you know, the only person who used a weapon, a firearm, inside the Capitol building was the still unidentified Capitol police officer who shot and killed an unarmed female veteran, Ashley Babbitt.
Yeah, okay. Biden's like,
what are we doing? What's going on right now?
Nothing, Joe. We're protecting the Capitol. We just killed an unarmed white woman, and we're going to protect the black cop that did it. Nobody even knows who he is. Meanwhile, black people and white people, Antifa, BLM members, rioting, fucking looting, burning, all summer long. They don't even bother looking for them. If you guys don't know what you're in for, you're fucking... They really think they're going to turn this thing into like an apartheid South Africa thing, where they're going to rile up the blacks to come after white people. It's not going to work like that in this country. Big fucking difference. Number one, it's 68% white still. I know that hurts your feelings. And pretty much all of us are armed to the teeth. So good luck with that wet dream, Pelosi, you leathery nipple dope you. Oh, they make me so goddamn mad. Unfucking real. It is unreal what's going on in this country. And like I said, what's frustrating is you can't really yell at Biden because he's just fucking, they handed him shit. Get out there. Say this. Get out. Yeah, tap dance for us. Yeah, do a handstand. Makes me very angry. And then she talks, thirdly, about, this big myth of white supremacy. If 1/10 of that was true, about this country being all white, do you understand the war would have been on a long time ago and fucking city blocks would be blown up, especially Minneapolis and fucking Portland. But here she is talking about this myth about white supremacy.
My question is, do we know how many of these individuals were neo-Nazis or Klansmen? Because I looked and I couldn't find any information on it.
None that I've seen. I think you saw one guy early on with a Camp Auschwitz T-shirt, and they used that, the media's evidence that these were neo-Nazis. But no, I've seen no racist language in any of the court documents. Certainly nothing to support the idea that these are white supremacists or domestic violent extremists, as our director of national intelligence refers to them.
Oh my God. Unbelievable. Biggest lie ever. It's such a white supremacist nation that people of color are sneaking in on inner tubes, fucking building rafts out of coconut trees. You see them in line at the bank. They still have seaweed in their hair. They're already on welfare. Yeah, it's the most hateful place on the earth. Fuck you, Biden. Fuck you, Chuck Schumer. Fuck you, Pelosi, and especially the squad, AOC. Can you imagine? They don't speak on it, and the media stays silent, except for, the Levin Show, Fox News, maybe America One, News. 3 things. They have 173 things. And they're just crickets. Just crickets. I, for one, am fed up. That's why I'm wearing purple today. Dressed like a pimp in Detroit. So I hope you're happy with the guy that you put into office. Do you remember the guy that you took out of the office? Well, guess what? How many times in this show have I been saying Trump was right about all the big things? Which is ironic. They called him like the biggest liar in history. And what happens is he'll say something that outrages everybody, and about 2 months later you realize, holy shit, he was right about that, true. Well, Trump must be watching this show, because Trump reminded the left how many times he was right and them wrong on the big things that matter. He put out a statement yesterday listing a few things, and I mean big things, that he was correct about. Here's your list. Have you noticed that they are now, do I have this in a prompter? No. All right. Okay, I have, he says, have you noticed that they are now admitting I was right about everything they lied about before the election? Hydrochloroquine, I should say hydroxychloroquine. The virus came from a Chinese lab. Hunter Biden's laptop was real. Lafayette Square was not cleared for a photo op. The Russian bounty story was fake. Remember they were saying we were paying, guys to fucking, Russian guys to shoot our guys. We did produce vaccines before the end of 2020 in record time. Blue states lockdown didn't work. Schools should be opened. These are all, you can go check them. Rachel Maddow, you thick-ankled. Critical race theory is a disaster for our schools and our country. Our southern border security program was unprecedentedly successful.
I am your voice.
Yeah.
You are correct, sir.
Come on, folks. Come on. Oh, don't forget the election being stolen, Mr. President.
He was the best guy around.
You're goddamn right. But I didn't like him because he tweeted mean stuff, and he was a bully and an alpha male and everything that's wrong with this country. He scares me. And he's rich and white with blue eyes. He's the devil. Suck a dick and die, all of you who put this jack off in office. I stole that from Sean Hannity. He said that last night. He's no longer on the Fox network. Let's lighten it up, shall we? I've had enough. It's making me sick to my stomach. And nice segue. Did you guys see the clip of the pitcher? Poor bastard. I think it was his first major league. No, he pitched a little bit last year, but it was, in front of an empty stadium because of COVID. So this was his first game in front of a live audience, relief pitcher for the Tigers. And his name is Bo Burrows. Had a season debut he'd like to forget last night. Burrows, who made his first relief appearance of the season on Saturday, he puked up all over the mound after getting into trouble in the 5th inning of the Tigers game. I don't really believe that's why he gets sick. Probably went out there nauseous anyways. That would be great, though. What if he, that's his hook? What if he's like a killer relief pitcher who, has an ERA of 1.12? He's the closer or the setup guy, and he pukes every time he's out there. How fucking great would that be? I'm just checking the ball for fucking pizza sauce and bell peppers. You're putting junk on the ball. That's my puke. Anyways, he got in trouble the 5th inning of the Tigers game against the White Sox. Burrows entered the game in the 4th when the Tigers trailed 8-2. If you're going to puke then, what are you going to do in a 3-3 tie in the 9th? But when the 5th inning began, he walked a batter, gave up consecutive hits, and then walked another batter before striking out the next 2 White Sox. If I was the manager, I would have been puking. Burrows tried closing out the inning for the Tigers. You got to admit, he was a stubborn dude.
I'm staying right here.
But he got sick and threw up all over the pitcher's mound. I've seen way more graphic than this. There's a couple players in college football and the NFL that were just blowing chunks. I forget what game I was watching 2 years ago. They had a close-up on this guy. Right? Oh, he was in the huddle, and he stepped out of the huddle, and I mean projectile vomiting. Like he just had Thanksgiving dinner, and he'd get back in line and fucking hit somebody. But this is, check this out.
Let's see how I do while I watch.
Poor bastard. Oh, poor bastard. I mean, he got in trouble, then he struck out the next two guys. Imagine this guy in an empty stomach. Tigers manager A.J. Hinch, remember him? He helped the cheating Astros, said afterward that Burrows was just nauseous and there weren't any long-term concerns about his health. But guess what? Unfortunately for Burrows, the Tigers demoted him back to AAA. What do they, got something against vomiters? Sent him back to AAA, the poor prick.
Bye-bye, dickhead.
Adding insult to injury or whatever the hell. For the love of God, the kid was doing the best he could. But I hope that happens more, and he's just a killer closer. Anyways, let me ask you a question, kids out there. Do you ever read the fine print that appears when you start browsing incognito mode? It says that your activity might still be visible to your employer, your school, or your internet service provider. How can they even call it incognito if that's the case? To really stop people from seeing the sites you visit, you need to do what I do and use ExpressVPN. And this is so easy because I'm a Luddite and I can figure it out. Think about all the times you've used Wi-Fi at a coffee shop, a hotel, or even at your parents' house without ExpressVPN. Every site you visit could be logged by the admin of that network. And that's still true even when you're in the cognito mode. I mean, do you really want your parents to see what you've been looking at? It would be funny. What's more, your home internet provider, I'm talking Comcast, AT&T, whatever, can also see and record your browsing data. And in the United States, they're legally allowed to sell that data to advertisers, which is the last thing you want. ExpressVPN is an app that encrypts all of your network data and reroutes it through a network of secure servers so that your private online activity stays just that, private. ExpressVPN works on all your devices and is super easy to use. The app literally has one button. You tap it to connect, and your browsing activity is secure from prying eyes. So stop letting strangers invade your online privacy. Protect yourself at expressvpn.com/nickdip. Use my link, expressvpn.com/nickdip, to get 3 extra free months. That's expressvpn.com/nickdip to learn more. It's a great product because there's so many prying eyes out there. Never mind, you know what? How about the government?
I'm telling you, man, do it. Never tell anybody outside the internet what you're looking at. I was on Asian Teens. I was on SwedishPigs.org. Now, let me tell you something.
Anyway, speaking of prying eyes, this is a big story. I don't believe I went almost, 30 minutes into the show. I could have opened with it. I didn't feel like changing the whole order. But this is big news that happened. I just read about it today. The Chan, I didn't even know this group existed. The Chan Zuckerberg Initiative. How do you like that? A Chinese name and Zuckerberg working together. Oh, that has to be good. The Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, the funding group behind much of the unlawful election changes of 2020. Remember we reported on that? Remember? You guys remember? You do, right? Zuckerberg was throwing, 400,000 here to this election, and so they could, change the rules. Pennsylvania, I think you got some of it. The unlawful election changes of 2020 gave nearly $500,000 to the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. The university counts, get this, Wuhan lab collaborator and gain-of-function proponent, Dr. Ralph Barrick, as lead researcher. Well, there's who you want to have money in his hands. Anyways, Barrick is the lead researcher, and so he's got this money. You know, he's into gain of function, and so now Zuckerberg has dirty hands too.
I kill you right now.
Kill me. I'm right here. Kill me.
Okay, I come with two chopsticks. I shove up your ass.
Oh, shoot chopstick. Come over here. Talk to me in the face.
Like somebody.
Talk to me in the face. I have no mask on. Like somebody. The University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, who we know for hoops, professor, who has also attending conferences at the Wuhan Institute of Virology and is described by the lab's Batwoman as her longtime collaborator, received the grant from Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg's philanthropic group in July of 2020. The Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, we call it CZ in the know, recently awarded a, get this, $433,000 grant to UNC for laboratory equipment that will accelerate research to address the COVID-19 pandemic, a press release notes. This grant represents a new collaboration between the West Coast philanthropic organization CZI and UNC in search of a global solution to the pandemic. Yeah, that's what it was about. A summary adds before detailing how the grant was used. We all know how it was fucking used. And not for...
Give me the money, you understand me? Give me the fucking money, you hear me? You hear me? I gotta come here and bust my balls. Give me the fucking money.
Are they gonna fucking... Anybody gonna sit down, Zuckerberg? I know he's been in front of senators and congressmen and at hearings and stuff. Anybody gonna say, hey, motherfucker, what do you know about this? You spread money, and every time you reach into your fucking wallet, somebody gets hurt. Whether it's stealing the fucking election or, you know, funding gain of function research. That's just cover for biological weapons research. The grant covers the purchase of a liquid handler. The hell does that mean? Bartender? A robotic arm that can pipette fluids, that's French for pipe, much more quickly and accurately than humans can, and supporting instruments, including another robot that detects active virus particles in samples and a machine to sequence RNA. That's not too creepy. Together, these tools increase the rate of testing compounds by 20-fold. The grant allegedly helped produce a study currently awaiting peer review. When's that going to happen? Entitled SARS-CoV-2 Infectious Virus Viral RNA in Nasopharyngeal Swabs. That's the and a serostatus of symptomatic COVID-19 outpatients in the United States. You try saying that 41 times with coffee and booze in it. But a slide from Barrick, from a Barrick presentation on the matter, also listed support from Gilead Sciences, the National Institute for Health, and guess who? Here he comes. Dr. Anthony Fauci, National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease. Dr. Fauci, the lying cocksucker, recently attempted to cover up his relationship with Zuckerberg by telling MSNBC host Chuck I'm a Big Girl Todd he had no idea what Senator Marsha Blackburn was getting at when discussing the pair's leaked emails. She said, you guys leaked emails, you and Zuckerberg. This prick denies it like everything else.
You're lying. And you're a piece of shit.
You understand he has he's got skin in the game is what I'm saying. Do you understand? Keep this ball in the air as long as you can. Read your history. It's all been done before. The financial ties between Barrick and the Facebook-linked charity follow the social media platform heavily, meaning Facebook, heavily censoring users and stories that promoted theories that COVID-19's origin could be traced to a Wuhan lab. Of course, Fauci didn't want that out there because he was the one funding money through a grant. You know, it's like laundering. Speaking of Chinese, get out of here with that shit. Anyways, all these guys have an interest in it. And so fucking Facebook's just, working with, don't worry, we'll squash it. Just like we did the Hunter Biden. They're not going to hear anything about it. Hey, come see me this weekend at the Sons of Herman's Hall in Dallas, Friday and Saturday. Be on Crowder's show on Thursday morning. Mr. Steven Crowder. Mr. Crowder, he's a fine man. A man goes to Texas. He puts the roof down on his convertible. Big mistake. What a beautiful... They sure love you here in Dallas, Mr. President. They sure do. Anyway, speaking of gunmen, la la la. To me, this next story, Fauci, Zuckerberg, Barrick, all of yous, you have blood on your hands from this next story, if you think about it. Since people are still wearing masks, they don't know whether to wear them or not. That's what's creeping me out. Brian Kilmeade made a great point last night. I was watching Fox for a bit, and he said, because you know how they're forcing us to put the mask on still when you take a flight or whatever. He goes, he's worried, like I am, that it's 20 years from the 9/11 attacks, right? And we're still taking our shoes off. And that's what's going to happen here. And he's fucking exactly right. Anyways, this happened right here in the state of Georgia lately. Hey, did I mention there was a mass shooting? I did, right? In Savannah yesterday? I'm not saying to be proud. I'm just saying. A cashier, this is DeKalb, was gunned down inside a Georgia supermarket Monday simply for asking a man to put on a mask, and a retired deputy who intervened was also shot, authorities said. Of course, me being the racist that I am, I said, what kind of behavior? That sounds like, again, it's either the Polish or the Irish. Can you fucking imagine taking somebody's life? The afternoon horror happened at Big Bear Supermarket in DeKalb when DeKalb, I don't know how to say it, when the worker asked Victor Tucker Jr., 30, to mask up due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If somebody asked me to mask up at this point, I'd want to yell at them, not take their fucking life. I'd just go, it's over. I had it months ago. I just, Anyways, here's the killer. There's Victor, whatever his face is. And again, have you ever seen anybody that looks like that that's ever done anything positive? The fucking answer is no. Nick, that's a broad. You're goddamn right. It should cover both sides of the street. So the lady, the cashier, asked, I still don't know what color the cashier is, which tells me probably Caucasian. Could be wrong, because I don't think this guy would visit a white establishment where white people shop. Anyways, she asked this guy to put on a mask. So he gets mad. According to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Tucker refused and got into an argument with a woman before leaving the store without making a purchase. The suspect then barged back inside like psychos do and allegedly shot her in the goddamn head point blank.
What's the world coming to?
Can you fucking imagine? That's somebody's daughter, mother, aunt, sister. The cashier who has not yet been identified. Really? Let me ask you a question here. You know everything else about the crime. How is it possible you don't know anything about the person killed? That is an impossibility. The fact that you know that, you have a picture of the shooter, how do you not know? Can somebody answer that to me? Which means or tells me they do know. Anyway, she was later pronounced dead at Grady Memorial Hospital, GBI said in a press release. The retired deputy, thank God he was there, part-time reservist with the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office, who was working security at the store, jumped in and returned fire. Hey, you gun control advocates, you going to cover this one? Because more people probably would have died. Returned fire, DeKalb Sheriff's Office spokeswoman Cynthia Williams told the Journal-Constitution. Both Tucker and the ex-deputy, a former 30-year member of the force, were struck by gunfire. Authorities said a second cashier was grazed by a bullet and treated at the scene. How many stores have we done with? Supermarket. Last week, remember? Some in Florida, some Hispanic guy shot 2 people in produce and shit. The former deputy was wearing a bulletproof vest at the time and is in stable condition at Atlanta Medical Center. DeKalb County Sheriff Melody Maddox said during a press conference, the newspaper reported. Tucker was arrested by responding deputies as he tried to crawl out of the front door of the supermarket like the worm that he is. He was also taken to Grady Memorial Hospital in stable condition and just a piece of garbage.
What murder?
Yeah, what fucking word.
You're a wormy cocksucker, you know that?
Piece of human filth. Good reason to take somebody's life, huh? They asked you to do something that you didn't want to do. Good reason. Good reason. Anyways, I'd like to mention a few things. Everyone, look, just a couple reminders. First, I'll be in Dallas this weekend at the Sons of Herman Hall on Friday and Saturday night. So please come out and see the show live. We'll have a blast after. Second, there will not be an episode of this Thursday of this show since I'll be on the road. I'll actually be doing Steven Crowder's show since I'll be in Texas on Thursday. So check me out on his very popular show. And lastly, as you know, your contributions are so truly important to keep this show going. I want to thank the following people who have contributed since the last time I thanked people. And those people are one-time contributions. Dennis Trifoletti in Nevada, Bill Allen, Massachusetts, Kerry DePalma, Alaska, Kyle Anderson, Utah, Jay Beatty, Kansas, Paul Sagnella, Connecticut, Dave Tedesco, Texas, William Lay, Illinois, Jason Boothby, Maine, Joseph Balachik, Florida, Monte Winstead, North Carolina, Joseph Hirsch, Ohio, James Klein of Pennsylvania, and new monthly supporters, Troy Salisbury of Arizona, Pedro Navaja, and a guy named Scott. Thank you guys very much, all of you, whether it's a daily contribution or monthly. It's the only way shows like this can happen. And I know it's a cliche, but we need these shows more than ever. And people are relying. Somebody had a great point last night, too, that they said they go to, somebody on TV said, they asked where he gets his news. He goes to all the sites that have been kicked off YouTube, all the and finds them on other platforms to get the real, honest truth. So I thought that was a great point. Because we live in a PC world. PC, but it's all coming from the left. That's why I laugh when I see like women and, I don't know, black or brown comedians whining about political correctness or gay comics when you go, it was invented for you, Bill Maher, who all of a sudden is starting to see the light. You know who else is seeing the light and how mentally ill we are as far as political correct? North Korean student who goes to Columbia says PC environment makes her country, North Korea, look sane. Think about that. Let that sink in for a second. A North Korean defector said she viewed the United States as a country of free thought and free speech until she went to college here. Yemeni Park attended Columbia University and was immediately struck by what she viewed as anti-Western sentiment in the classrooms and a focus on political correctness that had her thinking. And she actually said that even North Korea isn't this nuts. Let that sink in for a second. Imagine for somebody that was, under Kim Jong-un. She said, and I quote, "I expected that I was paying this fortune, all this time and energy to learn how to think, but they are forcing you to think the way they want you to think," Park told Fox News. I realized, wow, this is insane. I thought America was different, but I saw so many similarities to what I saw in North Korea that I started worrying. And rightly so, lady. The 27-year-old told the Post that she, and this is no dope, she's going to Columbia. The 27-year-old told the Post that she couldn't believe she would be asked to do this much censoring of myself at a university in the United States. I literally crossed the Gobi Desert to be free, and I realized I'm not free. America's not free, she said. I mean, how can you even argue with any of that? Yemeni Park fled North Korea at age 13 in 2007, a voyage that took her and her family to China and then South Korea before she went to school in New York in 2016. Imagine the disappointment. Her professors gave students, get this is her, trigger warnings, sharing the wording from readings in advance so people could opt out of reading or even sitting in class during discussions, Park told the Post. Let that sink in. What the fuck? Going to Columbia, the first thing I learned was safe space, she said. Oh my God. She says, every problem they explain to us is because of white men. Some of the discussions of white privilege reminded her of the caste system in her native country where people were categorized based on their ancestors, she said. All right, folks? There you go. That'll be the U.S. military. In one class, a teacher discussing Western civilization asked the students if they had a problem with the name of the topic. Who cares? The people who are teaching this shit are fucking just Marxists, out and out Marxists. Most students raise their hands because of the pussies that they are. Do you have a problem with the title of
It's a sick question. You're a sick fuck, and I'm not that sick that I'm going to answer it.
Some, she said, mentioned issues with the colonial slant of the discussion. Because of my eyes, I took offense to that, she said. No, she didn't. I added that as a racist joke. And classes often began with professors asking students for their preferred pronoun. Oh, my fucking word. We know what's going on, but when you hear it right from a student, with the use of they becoming scary as she feared being socially penalized for not being inclusive enough in her vocabulary. She says, English is my third language. It's very hard for me to say he and she sometimes. I misuse them. Can you imagine having to worry about that? She told Fox that she also was chided for saying she enjoyed the writings of Jane Austen, which I do too. I was up I thought North Koreans were the only people who hated Americans, but turns out there are a lot of people hating this country in this country. Voluntarily, these people are censoring each other, silencing each other, no force behind it. As you know, again, most countries crack down, right? It's, a reporter goes missing when she's talking about the Wuhan lab. That's what she means by no force here. It's true. You're just sitting back, taking it in the ass. But that's because they've been brainwashed way before that. From, pre-K now up to whatever. So, yeah, they don't say anything. They just sit around and watch it happen with their lips zippered shut.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Other times in history, there's a military coup, d'état, like a force comes in and takes your rights away and silencing you. But this country is choosing to be silenced, choosing to give their rights away. Park, who grew up in the last Stalinist dictatorship and witnessed people dying from starvation, said Americans are obsessed with oppression, even though there is not much oppression they've witnessed firsthand. Boy, does she have her thumb on the pulse of this country. This is completely nuts, she says, okay? Think about that. This is a woman from another country.
Because I'm...
She said, this is unbelievable. I don't know why people are collectively going crazy like this or together at the same time. In some ways, they in the United States are brainwashed, even though there's evidence so clearly in front of their eyes that they can't even see it. That is from a girl who grew up in North Korea. She's appalled at the left-wing horseshit that she's experiencing. And it's not just Columbia, it's every campus. Which somebody said a while ago that the academia is a national threat, which is true. I don't know what to tell you. Well, here's a story for you that could have happened in North Korea, but I have probably an unpopular take on it. I wrote the headline, "Punk Tased for Being a Punk." This was in, what was it, in New Jersey? Maryland. Maryland, on a boardwalk near the ocean or whatever the fuck. Shocking video shows the moment at Maryland cops tase a teenager with his hands up while arresting him for vaping on the boardwalk. The now viral clip, which has more than 1.5 million views, shows Brian Everett Anderson, 19, with his hands up as he's surrounded by at least 5 cops at Ocean City Saturday night. Police said they saw Anderson vaping after telling him to stop earlier that night. Without moving away, he appears to unhook a strap to his backpack, which witnesses say was an order from the officers, and then clutch his stomach and fall to the ground, being zapped with a taser. Let's take a look at the clip.
Chill. Stop. Get out. What's wrong with you? Back up.
It happened last year too.
Back up.
Now here's the problem. First of all, the law is the problem there, in my opinion. You can't vape outside near a goddamn ocean? Now, I know you're all freaking out, but what about the cops? Once again, the camera comes on, right? 3/4 of the way into the interaction. You don't see the cops, tell them 5 times to put it out. They're just doing their job. Again, I said the law's stupid, but they have a job to fucking do. And right after he was told not to, what's he do? He fucking lights up, and they tased him. Nick, you're not for that. Yeah, I'm for fucking. Just like if my dad told me to do something and I fucking, just ignored it right in front of him, I get a crack in the face. Look how I turned out. Perfect. And then some broad yells, "Stop! He was standing there!" A clearly upset woman screamed after being brainwashed for 10 years on the internet how bad cops are. As other witnesses yelled at the officers, she's like, "You are fucking wrong!"
Liar,
That's
whore,
right.
liar, whore, and you know it.
"What is wrong with you?" one man asked, as the cops quickly moved in to back up the angry crowd as Anderson was turned onto his stomach and handcuffed. Apparently he doesn't know how to listen. Police then arrested 3 other teens after a large crowd of people began to form around the officers. Here you go. The town of Ocean City said in a release, so, the minute they see cops and a kid down, here comes the crowd as usual. No, we don't know. One was busted for yelling profanities, another for allegedly threatening to throw a bike at the officers, and the third for becoming disorderly after being warned that he was standing on private property, the release said. Other footage showed the 3 officers on top of one of the arrested teens, while another clip shows cops carrying one away as someone shouts, "Are you fucking serious?" for no reason. That's what's years and years of this. The body cams don't help anybody. I guess where were the cops' body cam, by the way? Shouldn't every cop have one turned on the minute they get out of, because we always get half the story. The optics are always horrible because the film always starts after the interaction. Cops just don't go up to somebody and start, fucking whacking them, unless you believe, fucking gangbangers in L.A. Anyways, so.
Are you interested in the real story?
Yeah, I am actually. The town said the debacle started when officers on foot patrol observed a large group vaping on the boardwalk. Why that's fucking illegal is beyond me. Warning them that the local ordinance prohibiting smoking and vaping outside of the designated areas on the boardwalk, which is fucking total bullshit. It's vape. Fuck, you get fucking mist from the ocean that's more harmful. Cheese dicks. As the group walked away, officers observed the same male start vaping again, the town statement said, because that's how they are.
There's something wrong with the black man.
I don't think he was black. Or was he? Maybe. When they returned, the male refused to provide his proof of identification and became disorderly. Where's that? Where's that footage? When you become disorderly, you're not just sitting there bad-mouthing the car. And then resisted arrest. Again, you don't see that. You only see the cops doing their fucking job, and it looks horrible. We are aware of the social media videos circulating regarding this incident, the town said, revealing that the use of force from these arrests will go through a multi-level examination. by police officials as well as professional standards. However, the statement stressed our officers are permitted to use force per their training to overcome exhibited resistance, which is what happened. Anderson was charged with disorderly conduct, resist/interfere with arrest, second-degree assault, and failure to provide proof of identity. And I say to that, again, I don't want to be racist, but let's see if we can figure out how these next names. Kamir Anthony Day, 19, was arrested for allegedly yelling profanities. He was charged with disorderly conduct, obstructing, and hindering. Can you imagine if the cops tried to do this during the riots all summer? Just people swearing at him and shit. Failure to obey a reasonable lawful order. Resistance/interfere with arrest and second-degree assault, the town said. And then Jatke, fucking name your kids normally. J.J. John Lewis, 18, was accused of pushing a public safety aid in the chest while yelling profanities, also picking up police bicycle to hit the cops. See what I'm saying, man? None of that's on fucking tape. But they think they have the right to fucking hit a cop, spit in his face, yell profanity. Time to start cracking some heads. Let's take some lessons from fucking China. Or Kent State. What? Anyways. So there's a lot of punks, you know.
I don't know what you're smiling at, watermelon.
Now that cop should have never said that. That was just fucking ridiculous. Finally tonight on Meet the Press, you know who Schmuck Schumer is? Hey, that's a good name for him. Not Chuck Schumer, Schmuck Schumer. Uses a word that his party has deemed as offensive for years. He actually said this when talking to some woman who doesn't know how to say population, so I'm just going to go out on a limb and say she might be black. Yes,
and this initiative actually will house the homeless population that is actually living on our streets. We see them every day.
Yes.
We're about to house them, and they're against it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I have found that my whole career.
Oh, have
they
you?
Wanted to build, when I first was assemblyman,
Mm-hmm.
they wanted to build a congregate living place for retarded children.
Oh! Pause! What?
Uh-oh, retard alert.
He said retarded.
Retard alert.
How fucking retarded is this guy? How dare you refer to retarded children as retarded? What are you, a fucking retard? Oh my God. I'm surprised the black woman said,
Get this through your head, Get this through your head, you Jew motherfucker, you.
don't ever use that word again. What kind of people are these, Henry? Oh my God. He said retarded. Chuck Schumer. Can you imagine if that was fucking Lindsey Graham or somebody on the right? Holy shit, you'd be reading about it for months. God damn.
No,
oh, yeah, bitch.
No, not this fucking time. No fucking way, no fucking way, no fucking way, no fucking way, mate.
I think we'll end on that. Chucky Schumer. Yeah, I was building a house for these fucking retards. You know, the kids with the helmets and shit, fucking drooling and whatnot. Sure, good kids, not dangerous. The population. Of course, what is she arguing, the black radio host? They need more government intervention for mentally ill people. Ay. That's the answer to everything. People on the left, I mean. Anyways, Chuck Schumer, that was very offensive, and I think he apologized, but you know what? I said, I'm not covering it. Not even going to fucking read it. You know why? Because they never did when Trump said something. Even when he said something that wasn't fucking insidious. That is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, we'll be doing a show tomorrow. I'll explain the details to Matthew after, because I have to catch a plane in the middle of the afternoon. Again, thanks for watching the show. And don't forget the comicsgym.com, and to contribute, please, whatever way you can. Don't forget nickdip.com. Click on the touring dates. Click on the contribution button. Don't forget I'll be at the Sons of Herman's Hall in Dallas this Friday and Saturday night. And I love Texas crowds. I'm actually looking forward to it. You know how I hate to leave my couch on the weekends. Don't forget Cameo.com. If you want me to roast a friend or relative of yours, go to Cameo.com, click on my profile, tell me a little bit about the person. I'll make a personal video on my phone and send it to them for a small fee. It's a lot of fun. You guys think it? I will say it as always. You're very welcome. We'll see you back here for the final day of the week tomorrow. Have a good day.